Hi, welcome to my channel, and today I have another theatre vlog for you. Today we're actually going to go to a dance show at the Lowry. We're going to go and see Dragons. It's on in their lyric theatre. It's only, I think it's an hour and 15 minutes long, so it's not a long show. It starts at 7:30. I've kindly been invited to the press night, so it should be a fun night. I'm just going by myself tonight. I couldn't get anyone else to go with me, so it's just me. I'm gonna go and get the tram, and yeah, it should be a nice relaxing night, so I'm looking forward to it. So I'll probably get back to you now once I'm at the tram stop. So I've just arrived at the tram stop. It's 6:05. Show starts at 7:30. There's a tram due in 1 minute, and luckily I don't have to buy a ticket because I got one already this morning, so it's a double tram. Oh, he's coming already. So I'll get back to you now once I'm at the Lowry. So I just realised I got on the wrong tram. Went to the Eccles one. Okay, so I'm just walking up to the Lowry now. So yeah, I got the wrong tram. I got the Eccles tram. I thought all Eccles trams stop at Media City. Apparently not. They have to say via Media City. Luckily I noticed before I ended up in Eccles. But yeah, nearly here now. It's only a short walk from where I got off anyway. But if I hadn't noticed, I don't know where I would have ended up, but luckily I could see it. Who was going down that way, like, it's going the wrong way. But yeah, nearly there now. Okay, so I've arrived now at the theatre. Just about to go and head in. Quite early still, even though I got on the wrong tram. I had to walk a bit. Still really early, but I'm going to head in anyway, have a look around the theatre. So it's only 7:10, and I've got ages to wait yet. So I'm just going to sit here, look at my phone for a bit until the auditorium opens. I think it opens at 7 and I can go in, but yeah, until then, not got much to do. There's no programmes for this, it's a digital one. But I suppose I could read that on my phone before it starts. But yeah, I'll probably get back to you now once I'm going into the theatre. So as we've got a bit of time, I just thought I'd have a little look around because they have like artwork and stuff up here. And this is where the model of the Lowry is. I'm in door A today. I think I'm on row N. Can't remember what seat. Door A. Okay, so I'm just heading in now. I'm on row N, seat 27. So they've took the seats out. Row N. So this one. Seat 27. Okay, so this is the view from my seat. It's a really good view actually. Looks quite interesting how they use projections and stuff in this. You can already see the projection on the screen. So yeah, looking forward to it. I'll obviously give you a full review at the end of the show. There's no interval for this show. It's an hour and 50 minutes. So yeah, I'll get back to you now at the end of the show. Okay, so the show has finished. It was actually really good. I actually really enjoyed it. There's actually a post-show talk, but there's a match on. and I want to get home before the match people come out, so I'm not going to stay for it, plus I've got a massive headache. So yeah, I'm not going to stay for the talk. I'm just going to go home and yeah, hopefully get home before all the match traffic come out. So yeah, I'll get back to you when I'm home. Hi, so it is now the next day. I didn't have time to review the show once I got home because I wasn't feeling very well. I had a really bad headache, so I went straight to bed as soon as I got home. But I thought I'd tell you about the show today. So obviously I went to go and see Dragons at the Lowry. I went for its press night, so my tickets were kindly gifted to me by the Lowry. The show started at 7:30. It was 75 minutes long with no interval, so about an hour and 15 minutes, so it wasn't a long show. It was in the Lowry's Lyric Theatre, and I was sat on row N, seat 27, I think I was sat in. And the view from there was really good. I do think maybe if you're sat on the very side seats, you might not get the best view because of the projections. I'm not sure what the sight lines would be. I think there was a member of staff actually asking people if they wanted to move from the sides because they weren't sure how good the sight lines were going to be from the sides, and they had some spare seats in the middle. So I think a few people did move before the start of the show. But from where I was sat, it was perfect, saw all the projections, saw everything. It was a really good seat, so definitely recommend those seats. So there was no merch for this show. With most dance shows there's never really any merch, but there wasn't a programme for this show either, not a physical one anyway. There was some QR codes around the theatre which you could scan, and you can get a digital programme which I can show you on my phone. So this is your digital programme. So it has an introduction, tells you about the show and how it came about. You've got some information about Eun-Me Ahn, the choreographer. You've got an interview here with the choreographer. You've got creative team and credits. You've got a picture here, production shot from the show, and that is everything in the digital program. So Dragons is the latest piece of work from the South Korean choreographer Eun-Me Ahn, and it's based around the millennium, which was actually the year of the dragon in the Korean zodiac. So the piece doesn't necessarily follow a particular story, rather it looks at what the dragon represents in Eastern culture. So like joy, optimism, lightness. So it looks at those sort of things and presents them in dance. So for this show, Eun-Me Ahn actually came up with the idea of using a pan-Asian cast who had been born in the year 2000. So she selected the dancers from Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan, South Korea and Japan. But before the rehearsals could actually start, the pandemic happened, and so they had to do rehearsals via video link. But then also due to the restrictions during COVID and the lockdown procedures, her idea of bringing these young dancers to South Korea to perform in the show failed, obviously due to the lockdown procedures. So what they actually ended up doing was filming these dancers and using the video in the performances. So at certain intervals during the show, they show these 6 young dancers via video projections, and they sometimes dance like independently, and then sometimes they interact with their live dancers on stage. and I thought this idea worked extremely well. It provided the audience with something quite visually different, and yeah, it's a visually stunning experience, and something, it just added something a little bit different to the piece that I hadn't seen before. And yeah, I enjoyed that aspect of it, and it was a good workaround from the original idea. So along with Eun-Me Ahn, there was also a cast of 8 other dancers. So they had eight live dancers plus Eun-Me Ahn on stage, and then they had the 6 visual dancers as well, who were in certain parts. They weren't in every dance, they were in just certain ones. So that was like the cast of the show. So along with the projections of these dancers, they also used a variety of different projections throughout the show, and the video design for this was by Tezeko Lee. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, I'm terrible at pronouncing names. And his video design I thought was beautiful. When you first walked into the auditorium, it had sort of like a lush sort of greenery sort of canopy on the stage. If you watch the video, you'll have seen that. But then throughout the show there was different bits. There was a really amazing sequence with like running water, really fast rushing running water, and then there was one of my favourite bits was the bubble sequence. They had like giant bubbles, and the dancers would be like inside the bubbles, and their movements would move the bubbles around the stage. I really enjoyed that bit. There was also a like flower garden at one point. It was using projections. And then there was also a bit that used like these sort of metallic tubes, and these were projected across the stage, and they would work their way around the stage, sort of like a snake, or like an Asian dragon would like flow and move. They would do that. So that was really interesting. That visual was really good. So the staging was quite simple. The set was quite simple, and it was designed by Eun-Me Ahn herself, and it consisted of 3 walls of the stage lined with these silver tubes, like these soft silver tubes that have very fluid movement. You can move them like this, and so they lined the side walls of the stage and the back walls from like the top to ceiling. Everything was lined in these tubes, and they also used these tubes as props throughout the show. The dancers used them on their arms and all sorts. So that was the main theme throughout the show, was these tubes. And I'm not sure if they were used to represent the movement of a dragon, because in Asian culture the dragon sort of flows very much like a snake through the air and stuff like that, and these did really seem to look like that sort of movement, and I'm not sure if that's why it was used. But the movement was really good with using these, and they would often use them on their arms. They even used the ones from the side of the stage, and they would hold them and move them like this to extend their movements through these tubes, which I thought was excellent. It looked visually stunning. Really enjoyed that aspect of the show. So the costumes for the show were also designed by Eun-Me Ahn, and they were beautiful, really colourful, lots of metallic colours in it. Obviously they're representing like the millennium, so they've gone for the metallic colours, quite glittery, and she used these beautiful skirts on both the male dancers and the female dancers, and the movement of these skirts was beautiful. There was a lot of twirling movements in the show, and that showed off these beautiful twirling movements of the skirts, which were just beautiful. So loved all the movements that they used. The costumes moved beautifully with the dancers, so I really enjoyed the costumes. Like I said, they were nice and colourful as well. They also had a bit of a traditional element in there, so you could see some aspects of traditional dress in the costumes. And so yeah, the costumes were beautiful. Really enjoyed the costuming. So the actual choreography throughout the show was quite fast paced, quite high energy. There's a lot of cartwheels going on in there. a lot of hand movement, and also they used a lot of spinning, obviously to show off the beautiful skirts that they had. But yeah, there was a lot of sequences using hand movements, which was quite nice. So overall I found Dragons quite a visually stunning show actually. The lighting was used quite well as well. I've not mentioned that, but the lighting was really good in the show. But yeah, it was visually very stunning. The music was sort of a techno beat to it, obviously because it's trying based on the millennium, so a bit futuristic sounding. It worked really well, I thought, with some of the pieces. And yeah, it was visually a stunning show. I thought the combination of live performance and video projections worked really well, and I enjoyed it. It was a fun evening out. So I think I give this show 4 stars. It was a really good dance show. Like I said, really enjoyed it. It was probably about the right length. I think if it was any longer it would have dragged a bit, but I think the length was probably just about right for this show. And yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend it. It's only on at the Lowry for 2 days, so if I get this up on time you might just about have a chance to see the last show. I think it's touring, so I will link down below the website which will list wherever it's touring to. And yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this little vlog. I know there wasn't much in this one, there wasn't a lot that I could film at this, but hopefully you've still enjoyed it. If you do enjoy theatre vlogs and reviews, and do consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell and be notified as soon as a new video goes up. Yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, like I said, please give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.